Wednesday as well. They're just playing long balls, and a lot of the times they weren't even going to a man. And I felt sorry for Jamil Matt, because if he did actually get the ball, and he tried to flick it on, there was nobody there for him to run onto it. Or by the time he held up the ball, the other team had got back into defence, and I think like the 5 at the back neutralised County's front 3. I think they were all too far apart from each other. I don't think Josh Ian would have made much difference yesterday, because, as Luke was just saying, as we were saying off air, they were bypassing the midfield. The same was happening in the FA Cup match at Grimsby on Wednesday night. So I don't really think Josh Ian would have made that much difference either. I think they only tested the keeper on 1 or 2 occasions, which is not good enough. It was just too easy for Oldham. They came, they had a game plan, and it worked.
Let's start with the midfield then. Why would you bypass the midfield?
What it was crying out for was somebody to, maybe like a Sheehan. I mean, Scott Bennett's been doing it. Sometimes he's getting the foot on the ball and playing the balls forward. I think they were just trying to get quick attacks going, but there was nobody there. Matt was isolated on his own. Sometimes Patrick Armand is back in the left-back position. So, I think, it's not working. And I could see Mike Flynn during the first half. He was getting frustrated with the players. He was barking orders at them, and they just didn't seem to be carrying it out. So, I feel for Mike Flynn a bit. He's doing his bit, but they're not doing it on the pitch. So,
we'll definitely talk a little bit more about Flynny in the next part of the show. Luke, long ball, any reason why you think they're doing it?
Because Flynny does not trust in the midfield. I think he doesn't.
And you think that's coming through in the players themselves, yeah?
Fans have been moaning for the past year and a half about the midfield. There is no midfield, they've been saying. Crying out for midfielders to be signed over the summer. Nothing. Yeah. Defenders signed over the summer. Defence has improved. Still the same issue about the midfield. I think in January, as I said earlier, best thing we can do is sign Joe Ledley on a free.
Okay.
Best thing we can do.
How possible is that?
Very possible. He's 32. He's coming to the end of his career. I'm sure he wouldn't mind taking a bit of a pay cut to get first team football. I don't think there'll be many other teams who will take him, especially with his experience and us trying to get promoted. I think the best thing we can do is get Joe Ledley on a free.
Okay, so Joe Ledley's one option. Am I right in thinking that from what we talked about earlier before the show that we're missing Pipe?
Pipey, yeah. His leadership qualities is... I think on County Chat earlier, someone said Pipey would not accept the way we're playing at the moment. He'd see what was going wrong and he'd be honest with them and say what's going wrong, and they'd listen to him, because he basically is Mr. Newport, David Pipe, along with Flynny. And I think that Flynny, like I said, best thing to do is sign Joe Ledley. Best thing for Flynny to do is appoint Pipey as part of his backroom team.
Okay, we're hoping to have the great man in on the show just before Christmas. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. Stephen, so if we're lacking a midfield general, which is what I would class it as, who should it be, or who could it be?
My knowledge of players in League 2 isn't that great. So
just within the squad. So so Luke's saying Ledley to come in. We're saying we're missing Pipe.
Yeah.
Who out of what we've got, who should be stepping up?
Well, I think they've got players like Mark O'Brien, Labadie should be stepping up. He's been there for a while. He's experienced. You got Patrick Armand as an experienced player. They are definitely. I think with David Pipe, his local connection, a bit like Mike Flynn. They haven't got that type of person in the team, which means obviously there is nobody. Nobody seems to be taking the initiative on the pitch. Maybe Mickey Dimitru, as Luke was saying off air, when he comes back, but I wouldn't pin all my hopes on Mickey Dimitru. I think I said in the summer they needed like another creative midfielder. I think people have been saying it on social media as well. So I think that's something he has to look at. Obviously, I think the defence, there's enough bodies in there, and there's no good, like Michael Flynn saying, we miss Joe, we miss Dan, but they're not there anymore. They've gone. You got to work with what you got. And I don't think they're bad players. I think it's the constant changing of the systems not helping. Players maybe I think they're panicking on the ball. That's why they're just hoofing it long. They're not calm. They need, like we said, we need somebody who's gonna calm the players down. I think Joe Ledley is probably too pricey for Newport, and he'll probably get offers elsewhere. Although, he could end up in Scotland or maybe China, like we said of it. I'd love to see him playing for Newport County, but I just think his finances, I don't think they'd be able to afford it.
I think that's why Flynny might be prioritising the Cup, so we can get more money in for better quality players, especially for the midfield, because listening to Flynny a couple of weeks ago on the show, he's not happy about the midfield as well.
And that's something I want to talk about in a couple of seconds' time, so hold that thought on that one. Looking back to it, you mentioned Mickey D. He comes over and does the warm-up for us, so he's absolutely brilliant with the kids and does some great work with answering some of their questions, and they're just amazing. We've got one for you too a little bit later from that one yesterday. He feels to me, even in just having that bit of fun and getting engaged with me and the warm-up team at that level, he does feel like a leader.
Yeah, hopefully, I think he's been a big miss at the back. I think a lot of people on social media are wondering why Hopkins hasn't been given a chance. Some people saying since Innes has come back in, they've been conceding goals. I think, I don't see. Yes, he did have a mistake against West Ham, but other than that, he hasn't really done anything wrong. So, and people are critical of Innes. He's just, as soon as he gets the ball, he's just playing it straight forward. Whereas, usually somebody like Scott Bennett would pick the ball up off the back or just in front of the back. So you need to start playing through balls. But as soon as Innes was getting the ball, he's playing it long. Maybe if Josh Sheehan had been there, he would have maybe demanded the ball, and maybe he would have played it along, out wide along the floor. But I think they definitely need something. I don't think it's panic stations yet, but.
No, not yet.
Definitely problems.
Absolutely not. So we had Robbie with a calf injury. Mickey, that we know is out, hopefully 2 weeks away from what he said yesterday in the warm-up over the marquee. 6-8 all in all. Nick Townsend in goal. Luke, what did you make of that?
I thought he was okay yesterday. Apart from obviously the goal he conceded. I'm not sure why Tom King didn't play yesterday though. Because obviously he was away with Wales. Congratulations Wales on qualifying for the Euros. He was on the bench Tuesday night for Wales in Cardiff. I can understand why he didn't play on Wednesday, because obviously he hasn't been with the team. But he's been training with Wales. He's been training with, like Flynny said earlier, I think it was Tom King said himself earlier, he's been training with Bale, Ramsey.
We've got a great interview with him coming up, and he's going to talk about that, Tom King, and it's an amazing interview. We found it really odd earlier talking about this, that Tom King gets a chance to play for his country, sat on the bench. His reward is coming back to his club and not playing. But I suppose, again, it doesn't matter what position you play in. If you're in form, you're in form. If your manager thinks that you're the best person for that role, and goalkeeping's no different, surely that's what he's done. And I think that's what Flynny said in the post-match as well.
Yeah, and yesterday Townsend made some brilliant saves, and to be honest, he was quite unlucky with the goal as well, because he made one save. And then it came out to Mills, and he actually got to the ball, but it crept into the net. So I thought he had a solid game yesterday. He was good against Grimsby as well on Wednesday night. So I think that's probably why Flynn has just kept faith with him.
Yeah, definitely. The Tom King interview, we're going to play little clips throughout the show, and then towards the end, then you're going to get a full 20-minute interview with him and Ryan Robinson, and it's brilliant. So please stick around for that one. Luke, so formation, how did Katie line up yesterday? Because we're talking about formation changing all the time. What do you think we had yesterday?
I think we went with a 4-2-4. No, it's quite confusing. He might have gone with a 5 at the back, but there was a lot of attacking players with Tristan Abrahams, Corey Whiteley, Pogamon, Jamil Martin. That's very attacking, and I don't know why we didn't score yesterday. We had Nick Townsend in goal, Danny McNamara, Ryan Innes, O'Brien and Ryan Haynes at the back. Maybe Scott Bennett. You said earlier, Stephen, second half we went to a 5 at the back. Did Scott Bennett drop back into the...
Yeah, because to be honest, talking about the formation, we were a bit confused Wednesday night. What was the formation? And I think we came up with a 4-2-2-2. So
that's what it's got down here as.
Yeah, and I think he kind of went for the same, but I think he went with 3 up front yesterday. I think it was a 4. I'm trying to think. I'll get my maths right. 4-2. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm laughing over here because
it was confusing. It was confusing me, and
absolutely,
it's confusing us, and it's definitely confusing the players. So,
I'm sure I've got number dyslexia.
yeah, and then at the back, then he did change it towards the end. He went with 3 at the back, and he put Whiteley out wide, but then he came off, and they brought George Nurse on, a left-footed right back. But so and that didn't really make much difference either. So yeah, it was a strange formation yesterday.
Yeah, weird times. Who was the man of the match?
Ryan Haynes.
Okay, is that? Do you agree with that?
Not really. I wouldn't have given it to any of them.
Okay.
But
Well, Flynny said he would have given it to Townsend.
yeah,
So
I
there
think
you go.
Whiteley had a few good moments. He was getting out wide, trying to create things, but yeah, there wasn't really much. Yeah, I mean, Labadie was ineffective. He was playing deeper than what he normally does. Yeah, Scott Bennett wasn't his normal self, picking the ball up and spraying the ball around. But then, like we said, they were getting bypassed, so it was a bit hard. Abrahams just looked like a passenger. Patrick Armand wasn't really involved. It wasn't good.
This is sounding horrible. I'm going to hold it there. I'm going to try and keep it positive. Luke, did you have a man of the match?
No, not really. I thought they were all poor.
Right. On our Facebook page, thank you very much for replying from 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. David Agossi said, we must not like the cold. I agree, we've got a heater in this studio today.
Definitely, yeah.
And it's trying its best
Although
to keep us warm.
I'm quite warm because I'm sat in front of it. But
I'm pretty chilly over here, but, I can live with it,
I just feel quite warm.
Matt Matthias, Damien, can I have the money instead of the tickets, please, to go to the Christmas shopping? More excitement shopping than watching that garbage today. Thank you, Matt. Sadly, won't be winning the tickets. I'll tell you who's won those in a couple of seconds' time. Colin Wright, that was the worst game I've seen in a while. Kick it upfield and hope for the best. Absolutely rubbish, no passion. James Morris is our quote of the day. The players need to listen to Newport City Radio more before a game. Now, obviously,
Definitely.
he wrote that in the hope of winning the tickets.
Yep.
And he has.
well,
Is he
it
listening
works.
now?
This is it, because if he's not listening now, we won't know that he's won the tickets.
Yeah.
So, see what I've done there?
Yeah.
So, if it's good enough for the players, it's going to be good enough for James Morris as well.
Flattery gets you everywhere.
Absolutely. Usually I wouldn't give in to that. It's not where we're at on Newport City Radio, but for the chick of it, James, yes, you can have the 2 tickets. Lisa Jones, doesn't matter that they tried and played their game. They always do their best. Better luck next game for them. So well done, Lisa. I agree with you on that one. Jeanette Morgan, who won the tickets last time round, they lost. Just look positively to the next game, UTC. Cheryl Kelly, upset that we lost. Shame we didn't get the 3 points. Maybe we need to focus on the league instead of the FA Cup. We're going to talk about that. So Cheryl, that's a great talking point that we're going to have a little work through a little bit later. He could be playing till Sunday evening, and they still wouldn't score a goal. Very disappointing. Anthony Dix, they look tired, but still showed good football, though. I'm not sure what good football Anthony saw, but
Yeah.
he must have saw some, and we'll leave it there. Stephen, on Twitter, what were people saying on our Twitter account?
All right then. Well, Neil Watkins has said, shocking performance by Newport County. We lacked putting any passes together and played straight into the hands of the Oldham defenders. No rhythm to our game. Paul Inca says, we can play football as good as anyone when we want, but we can't dictate games and carry players who've got no passion. It's heartbreaking watching County at the moment. Craig Luffman says, our performances haven't been great all season. We've got by with 1-0 as last-minute winners and scraping results. We are where we are, and we have to improve quickly. And this last one, I like it, well, kind of. Absolutely woeful. It reminded me of the dark days under Graham Wesley. No ideas and predictable. Launching every throw-in and corner in is boring. And finally, Sean Price. It's been coming for a while, but this was the worst County performance since that dreadful home Leyton Orient game at home in the 2016-17 season.
I remember that game.
Which was obviously
4-0.
Graham Wesley's last game in charge.
Okay. I promise you, happiness is coming on Sport Hour very soon.
Hopefully.
Luke, we've got a great interview with Tom King at the end. It's coming in that. Luke, stat attack.
Quite interesting, actually. I've got the expected goals table now. Listening to the fans on social media, all doom and gloom. No creativity, no goals. Let me read you the expected goals table. We should be 4th, 7 places higher. We should have scored 8.7 more goals, which I think is really interesting. Because at the moment, like I said, people have been saying we've been poor attacking-wise. But that's expectedly, we should have been scoring 8 more goals.
Because Jammer's down on this season so far, isn't he? He should have scored more.
He's got
goals
one
than
or
he has at the
two.
moment.
He's got 2, and this time last season he had 6. So, yep, he's down a little bit. But I think it comes down to the service. I think he's not getting the service that he was last year. Obviously, I think the different system last year played to his strengths, as Luke was saying off air. And, yeah, County only scored 17 goals